Hey everyone, Kim Willard here, and I have Dave, the raw food trucker, with
Hey,
me.
how are you?
So I'm gonna let you, him tell you about himself, and then you'll see why I have him on here.
Okay, very good, guys. Cool. I'm honored to be here, first of all, Kim, and I really want to thank you. I really, truly am. Yeah, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was dying. I weighed 430 pounds, and I had colon cancer. I had diabetes. My kidneys were leaking proteins from my blood system, from my kidneys into my blood system, and if you check it out, you'll see that that's irreversible, and I was told that. I had a myriad of diseases. I have acid reflux disease. So I was an American truck driver, and I was teaching people how to drive a rig. And this couple came along named David and Una Whiting, and they explained to me that there was this diet they knew that I could go on, and I would lose all kinds of weight, and it would probably take care of or heal me up from just about everything I had. It was utterly amazing. I was like, are you guys... Oh, I've been on Atkins, you know, and they were like, oh no, this and Atkins, you know, all this and that. And I found out it was about raw food, and in a period of 6 months, I was off of 19 of 20 prescription medications and 6 over-the-counter medications. And I got off all my diabetic meds, Actos, glyburide, and metformin in 4 days. Not weeks, not months, and I still weighed 400 and some odd pounds. I lost 230 pounds in a year and 6 months to a year and 9 months. It was crazy. I had acid reflux. I was on 3 prescription medications for that. I was taking a bottle a day of Rolage, or 4 packs. It was just insane what I was doing to live. I was so committed to living at 430 pounds. I was also felt trapped and really addicted to the food, and it's a horrendous feeling. And through going raw, organic, vegan, getting the animal products out of my diet, getting pesticides out of my diet, and not cooking my food, I reversed all the stuff. And I mean, the kidneys, the leaking of the proteins from the kidneys into the blood system. Check it out, Google it. It's irreversible. When I got the blood test, they had me come back and take it 2 more times because they were like, well, something's wrong with the blood test, right? Because your kidney can't reverse, though. They got to have the protein in it. Wasn't there. 11 months, 6 months, off of 19 prescription medications, 6 over-the-counter medications, still on one for my
Wow.
In 6 months, yeah, absolutely.
It
was just phenomenal stuff.
Juicing during that time?
For the first 3 months, I was just 100% raw food, as much as I could be, struggling through converting over to that. And then after about 3 months, I found out about this book called "There Is a Cure for Diabetes" by Dr. Gabriel Cousens. Again, that's "There Is a Cure for Diabetes," and by Dr. Gabriel Cousens, Cousens. And I read the book. I did exactly what it said to do. And I started these. I've done a 4-month juice feast, 3-month juice feast, and just a myriad of different types of juicing events. You know, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. For the first 2/3 of the first 2.5 years I was raw, I drank nothing but juice, and I intermingled it occasionally with food. For
the first how long?
2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's where all that weight came off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was still coming off the raw food before I'd even started juicing at 430 pounds in 90 days. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 90 days to the day, and I'd lost 98 pounds, almost 100 pounds, almost a little over a pound a day. Now, part of that was at 430 pounds, you're going to have a lot of water weight. But I did it safely, you know. Just incredible stuff. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you. And again, when Kim invited me down here to Springfield, Eugene, Oregon to talk, it kicked off my West Coast tour. So I was very honored by that. And we had a good turnout. We had a lot of people there, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. So
yeah,
I personally enjoy hanging out with beautiful women. You know, so.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Beautiful women love to hang out with you.
Well, thank you.
Um, I guess it's my turn to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you do, so most of your detox was in doing the juice cleansing?
Well, yeah, I'll give you guys an example. When I was just doing the raw foods in the first 10 days, I had 2 giant bags of pus under each armpit and 2 in my groin. And one of them was the size of a grapefruit. 2 of them were the size of like a softball, man. I mean, they got huge. And then I had to lance them. I was stuffing paper towels in my armpits and my groin. Because I was detoxing too fast, and I went raw. I went 100% organic, 100% raw, 100% vegan, and so I decided to pull back and add some pesticides, which is actually poison foods. But my body was so toxic; I had so much toxic material to pour through it that I had to slow it down. And to slow it down, I was either going to go cooked food or I was going to go and knock off some of the organic. I was afraid that I would go back to cooked food and not be able to stay with this raw, strange, weird stuff. And so I chose to, I just put I just quit eating it 50% organic, 50% poison pesticide food. And then about 2 weeks later, I went up to 60%. A couple weeks later, I went up to 70%. And that way, yeah, of organic. And I eventually, after about a month or two, no, it was a little bit longer than that, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. But I got to 100% organic again, but the bags of pus were just about the size of a golf ball. And I had all 4 in me, and I was lancing them every day. And this is how much toxins I had in my body. They were draining pus every day for over 6 months. Those things were with me. Yeah, 6 months.
And then how did you get rid of them? Did they just disappear one day?
They just disappeared. They just shriveled up, shriveled up, shriveled up. And then eventually one day I noticed they just felt like a bee sting and there was no bag around it. And eventually they just went away and stopped draining.
Very
It's kind of like the cancer, you know. It just went away. I don't know. It just went away. You know, dark green leafy vegetable juice and low glycemic. Yeah,
isn't that amazing? Right
Isn't
there.
it though? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
We're going to do a little get together in the kitchen with Dave next and see him make a smoothie and find out you know, what he's eating. In fact, I care for people and you care for your parents right now. I was wondering.
I help with my mother, yes.
Okay, so you don't do all the cooking.
No, sometimes my dad does it, but
okay.
I usually prepare meals.
Because I'm just wondering how you maintain your such a high amount of raw, 99.8% raw cooking, regular food.
A part of it for me is now knowing the reality of what this food is, okay? So when I'm cooking something, and I have had a challenge, like I remember they brought us some prime rib during Christmas, and I just got up in front of the entire family and said, I'm out of here. I got to leave. I got to go right now. And then and I felt this intense shame because, man, after 5 or 6 years of being raw, this hadn't happened to me in a while. And yet I knew if I stayed, I was going to eat the prime rib.
Wow. Okay.
So, and but what I do when I'm cooking it and smelling it and stuff like that, please realize for at least for almost 3 years, I had to stay away from that as much as possible. But I eventually got to a point to where I just was like, I would taste it when I was around it, like just take a taste, and I would actually spit it out because I didn't like it. I simply reached a point to where this food grosses me out.
Beautiful.
And I remember going to a family function at a restaurant, and I thought, well, I'll just order some of this. It was a Buddha Delight because I didn't want any meat, and I asked them to cook it a little lighter than usual. And I remember I took a bite and it felt like it was scalding my tongue. And yet everybody else was just eating it normally. And I was like, this is really hot. And I blew on it and there was steam coming up. And I was like, I'm just done with this. It's just like, why do I want to scald my tongue, And then on top of that, the Buddha Delight, now I'm a low glycemic, that's my lifestyle with the raw foods, but I mean, literally, there was so much sugar in this Buddha Delight mix and the sauce that they're using. I was stunned. Now, most people eating a sad diet, standard American, are not even going to realize it. They're not going to taste it because they're used to it. But the deeper we clean our bodies out, the more pure our bodies become in the sense of getting toxins out. I mean, think about this, people. Seriously, think about this. For the first time in the history of the human race, we are poisoning our own food system. Oh, well, it's pesticides so that we can grow more food and feed more people. Guess what? About 25, 30 years ago, I may have the numbers a little off, but you can check it out, Google it. Bottom line is that they changed the types of pesticides that they were using, and the reason why was because the bugs, they were trying to kill them, but the bugs kept adapting to it, and what they realized was that if they kept doing this for another 20, 30 years, they would have a super bug that no pesticide would be able to harm, and they could actually, I mean, it could literally, our species could become extinct because they could literally out-eat the food if something like, where the locusts get going and then they go into these swarms and things like that. Something gets kicked out of nature every now and then, and you see it, and it's just very interesting. But anyway, so what I want to do is just get to the crux of what I'm talking about with the poison food, because what they're doing now is they are paralyzing the insects. The poison is designed to paralyze. So the insect's paralyzed, so it can't eat the food. Bird comes along, sees a insect, eats it, up the food chain it goes. But more importantly, the entire leaf of whatever it is we're eating, or the entire stalk of celery or whatever, they're spraying that stuff right on it. Now, the FDA says, in all its wonderful wisdom, that, it's such a small amount per million or billion or whatever, right? Let me ask you guys something, seriously. I mean, 30, 40, 50 years ago, they'd never had attention deficit disorder. We didn't see the things going on in our societies like mass school shootings and all this kind of stuff. We didn't see that much people whacked out of stuff, man. I mean, it's just insane. Really, seriously, guys, 17% of kids on Ritalin, I think is what I heard. I mean,
how much?
Insane. 17%.
Oh, I bet there's more than that.
It may be. I couldn't remember if it was 17 or 70, and I didn't want to say it.
I bet it's 70.
But I'm just telling you, we didn't have all these children on these medications, and we didn't have half the problems we have in our society that we do today just versus 40, 50 years ago. And I really believe part of it is from the pesticides.
And it's really important to detox those pesticides when we do.
Absolutely.
As we clean.
Yes.
Speaking of detox,
okay,
you told about your first colonic.
Yes, I did.
At the potluck.
Yeah.
Would you please share that again?
Okay. All right.
Dave getting his first colonic. You got to hear this.
Okay. First of all, for those of you that don't know what a colonic is, they take the tube, they shove it up your ass, and they fill your bowels with water. Okay. So Dave and Judith, the people that were getting me into all this stuff, they were going, "Hey man, you need to go get a colonic." And I go, "Sure, no problem. What is it?" And when they told me, I was like, "Not happening," Ex-outlaw biker, ex-military guy, truck driver here, driven through scab, professional scab, driven through strike lines. If you think I'm having something shoved up my butt, it just ain't happening. And for 6 months, I refused to do it. And then finally, after 6 months, Dave mentioned it again, and something happened, synchronicity of events, but I went to get one, right? So here's what I did, because there were 4 or 5 people in Seattle that were raw fooders that knew me. I put on a cowboy hat, big dark sunglasses. I made my name, so I told them over the phone that it wasn't the same, not my real name. Because, I was so paranoid about somebody seeing me go into this place, right? So I go in there, and they ask for a credit card. I'm just like, they want to know why it's not the same.
Didn't you say you stood out by the garbage can too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For almost 30 minutes before they opened up, I parked my car 2 blocks away, and I walked out there, and I went to the back alley, and went behind the trash can and waited till they opened and saw everybody going. I actually waited for somebody else to come out before I actually went in. Yeah, I was just
hysterical.
Really, seriously, I just was like, ugh. But anyway, all this for a colonic.
That'd be like a minister going to a pawn shop or
a porno shop place.
Yeah, maybe
right
that.
on.
Yeah.
But and you said I had the dirty mind. Okay, so anyway,
I didn't.
I go in there. I know, I'm just playing.
I know. It's just
okay, yeah. She's pure as the driven snow, folks. Really. Okay. So anyway, okay, yeah. So I go into the colonics place, and I do this, and something weird happened. It was on the buzzing on the inside of my forehead, across here, but it was on the inside of my skull, and I asked them. I came out, and they said, "What's with the buzzing on the inside of the forehead?" And they were saying, "What are you talking about?" And this girl named Janet came over. She was like, "Well, that could be your third eye opening."
How long had you been cleansing?
At that point, that was 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd been.
So you had
been juicing 6 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, juicing because I've had lots of colonics, at least 6 or 7, and my third eye has not started opening up or buzzed yet. So
well, I didn't even know what it was. Juicing. I didn't even know one existed. When they said the pineal gland, I heard
that neat?
Something else. Okay, when they said pineal, I heard, "Hey, how's it hanging, buddy?" You know?
Prostate gland.
Yeah, yes. Actually, I heard penis.
Oh, penis.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
so they're telling me that there's this gland here, and I'm thinking, you're telling me there's some shape like my penis, and it's right here. And then I don't have a computer, and I'd never heard of this, so they were like sitting here trying to explain to me what the third eye was, and I saw Sinbad the Sailor in the 7 Seas, and he landed on these different islands, and I thought it was so cool because he cracks these skeletons with a sword, and there was this giant crab that came out, and he fought off this crab that was like 30 feet high, and then they landed on this one island. There was a cyclops, and he had an eye in the middle of. I mean, really, I walked out of there thinking, man, these people are just absolutely nuts, man. I mean, they're just crazy.
That is hysterical.
Yeah.
Now, you also got your mercury fillings removed, or amalgam fillings?
No, not all of them. I did not. No.
Okay.
I've had a heart attack, and so I haven't. I've had part of them taken out, and then I've been told to wait at least 4 or 5 years after the heart attack before I risk having the rest taken out.
Wow. So how many did you get done before?
3.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Had that done in Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. I actually went for a consultation.
Just today.
on getting mine removed today, and it is actually going to be $10,141 plus a $1,600 cleaning. So, yes, we will definitely have to talk Mexico.
Yes,
this
I recommend you do. It should be somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000.
Oh, much better.
I think closer to 2, to be honest with you.
Good. Go have a nice little vacation. Good. Do you know the name of the place? You can give me that and all that?
I'll get all that information to you.
Do you know anything off the top of your head so we can just...
Well, I got to tell you guys, there is the dental work down there is really good. If you go over to Tijuana, I can only speak because that's where I've been. And then people like David Wolf and some other people have told me about, there's 2 dentists or 3 down there that do this, and they actually have the suction thing coming out, so as the mercury's being taken out.
So they do it specifically for, beautiful.
And they have a tube that sucks the air and the mercury right out of your mouth.
And you've got the information.
Yeah.
Good. Can you think of the name of either one of these places off the top of your head? Okay. So we'll have to get to that. Okay. So, and you have yet to do a liver cleanse.
Yeah, have yet to do a liver cleanse. But you know what?
Do you plan on it?
No, because I've done so many juicing events that I just...
Okay.
If my liver's ever bothered me, I'll probably do one.
Okay. Stacy said she read that book, and a lot of your issues, I guess, could have stemmed from a liver being full of stones.
Wow, what issues do I have? I'd be interested to find out.
I don't know. Maybe the issues that you had that you've already cleared up.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think
Got
so,
it.
yeah.
Oh, that might be. Yeah, I do remember mentioning something about that now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I called my friend to see if they had any questions. All right. Dave, who are your favorite authors?
Okay, my favorite authors. Michael Talbot, who wrote Holographic Universe. He passed away a few years back, but that book had a bigger impact on me than the Bible did. Phenomenal stuff. If you ever get a chance to read it. It has nothing to do with raw, organic, vegan lifestyle. By the way, I'd like to just make sure that you people know that and she can attest to this, I am not 100% raw, 100% organic, and 100% vegan. I was when I was going through healing and dying and all that. But I just call myself, I'm high raw, high organic, high vegan because I just don't believe in being a purist or a fanaticist or anything in any area of my life. I just choose to never do that again because I used to be fanatical and I used to be, this is the only way that you can think, and boom, if you don't think like me, well, that's okay because you're just an asshole. You know? And, man.
It's so much better not to corner yourself, though, isn't it?
It really, truly is. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, if you want to turn this or whatever into a religion, you can. But,
yeah.
You know, those kind of people freak me out.
Favorite, would you say that's your favorite book, too?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my favorite book in the area of opening up the mind to what the possibility of what can be.
Which is what happens when you eat raw food. Your mind opens up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And then I'm releasing a book next month, as a matter of fact. And so I would be remiss if I didn't say that I liked my own book. But I will say this. 3 authors come to mind in terms of if you ever want to check out How to Heal Yourself, Reverse Disease. I mean, I was paralyzed laying in the hospital. 97% of my body was paralyzed on the right side from a heart attack and a stroke. The neurologist told me that at best I would be in a walker, but I'd probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of life. The state of California came in, did all these tests on me, said, yeah, nobody be able to understand me. They literally told me where they thought I could get to after years. In 6 months, I'm like this. Can you tell I had a heart attack? Can you tell I had a stroke? Could you tell I had cancer? Could you tell that I used to weigh 430 pounds, you know? Could you tell I had diabetes? Could you tell that my kidneys were leaking in my thing? Could you tell that literally I was dying? Do you see any of that in me now? Because it just ain't there. And it's not in a pill. It's in food. That's the amazing thing. And I remember thinking, my mother, my father, a priest, a doctor, a teacher, somebody, somewhere would have told me that, hey, there's food stuff. It can really heal you if you just don't kill it and cook it and all this other stuff. People don't know. People do not know. That's right.
So, and yeah, good thing people like you are spreading the message too.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Well, you're one of my inspirations for sure.
I'm honored. Thank you.
You're one of the third raw people I was following, Philip McCluskey, and then I came across you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Philip's a friend of mine.
I believe it.
He's got a beautiful wife. He just recently got married.
Oh, how sweet. Yeah, he sure lost a lot of weight, too.
Yep, and he's kept it off, too.
Yeah, looking good.
You want me to go get my shirt and show people?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I love it.
Let's do that on the other one because just realized it's in the car. I was thinking it was in the room.
We're going to do I don't know if I mentioned on this one, but we're going to do a little video in the kitchen with Dave doing a smoothie so we can see how Dave the Raw Food Trucker does a smoothie.
Right on.
So, yeah. Okay, I just have another... I have another couple little questions here.
Okay.
The other night, I actually saw some videos of you with Matt Monarch talking about the amazing power of raw food
In. Gonna make you say it.
In your sex life.
There you go.
And I was wondering a couple of things. Well, I'd heard that, well, I guess you have quite the women wherever you go, and apparently we're not very shy about letting you know.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And how cute is that? And go girls. And boy, if you haven't seen those videos, they're really sweet. You'd think any parents would be proud to have a son like Dave, yes. And a very sweet man. How is it compared to before?
When I was like really obese and toxic and eating poison food.
Did you have women propositioning you on a constant basis?
Not like this. But yeah, I had a sex life, but it was, you know, I mean, really, the reality was dismal at best. I could probably go for, 15, 20 minutes, something like that, and making love to a woman. And after I've been raw now, after about 2 years of being raw, and I want to make it very clear to people what I'm talking about here, because this is not pornographic. No. This is not about lustful or anything like that. And it certainly is not about boasting. But I am open to sharing about what raw foods have done in every area of my life. And so I just share this with you from that perspective. Please, I'm begging you, take it from that perspective and make sure no children around for what I'm about to talk about. All right, so bottom line is that pretty much on an average, I didn't realize that I was down in talking at the Raw Food World Conference. Matt Monarch hosted it, and there was a class on tantric sex. I'd never even heard of tantric sex. And when they talked about it, I was just like, yeah, that's normal. They're like, what are you talking about is normal? I mean, people work at this and all that. No, I just went raw, and then it dawned on me that after about 2 years of being raw, my sex drive went really high. I'm not saying it went crazy, but the bottom line is, think about this. The healthier we get, the better and stronger our sex life should be. Because
well, that's extra energy, actually.
It absolutely
sexual
is.
Energy is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't have the energy to get out of bed,
yeah, really,
you're not going to have the extra energy to go there.
Yeah. And anyway, some people, how would I put it? Bottom line is that with a couple of lovers that I had, we were talking. We're still all good friends. But the subject came up. I mean, I go 10 hours
and
or 8 hours.
You don't even have to say. Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, because they can always go see the other videos with him and Matt Monarch, where he discusses that more fully. And
there you go. That sounds good.
I think,
yeah,
because I just think it's really exciting, as a way of sharing, what a healthy diet can do.
It really does.
For people. And it's exciting that, it's just good stuff.
It is good stuff.
And it's a way to reach men, too.
Yes, it is.
And,
yes, it is. I'll be honest with you, man.
And at the same time, they'll be getting rid of their health issues that are going to take them away from us.
Right.
Prematurely.
Absolutely. I have a saying. Real men drink dark green leafy vegetable juice.
Very
They're not
nice,
out there drinking beer and whiskey
just
and stuff that
fluoride.
kills the brain cells and
the
alcohol going through the liver and the fluoride that's in there just to make it so that you can handle it, all that kind of stuff. The other thing I'll tell you is on these juice feasts, I've coached so many women on it, and Dan McDonald and I were talking one day, and because we are really heavy into juicing and juice feasting, and what we realized was that we were seeing this in most women under 60 that went on a juice feast. If they had already been through menopause, it reversed and they started their menopause again. If you think about it, that's just the body getting better. So they have
to have hot flashes all over again?
No woman that's ever been through it wants to hear this. So I always now, when I'm coaching people, when I'm coaching women, that, I ask them, hey, I'm not trying to be too personal, but if you have a metabolic, if you had, and you're under 60, you can expect it to come back.
But and then they'll start menstruating again and actually reverse.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the only evidence of actual physical youngering that I see, because when a woman's fertile, she's very healthy, she's more productive, and well, in that area, and you know, it's just nature saying, "Hey, here's how you're supposed to be."
Wonderful.
You know.
Good to
know.
know.
One woman that I coached said it was all worth going through it, because after she lost the 280 pounds, she has a whole new life, and she's really well balanced, and she's now married, and things have really changed in her life from having no men to, you know, actually courting, having half a dozen men after her. You know, she was kind of like going,
so
wow,
wonderful.
you know. Yeah, and she eventually met the right guy and got married, and she's got a kid, and
a whole new life.
Yeah, and she's a raw organic veganist.
And she went through menopause, and now she has a child.
Yeah.
Isn't that something else? Boy, if that isn't a testimony,
she went through menopause at 48.
What do you think now? You live in the lovely state of
Washington.
Yes, where now having access to hemp is legal.
Yes, it is. Marijuana is legal in Washington.
Yeah, marijuana actually.
As it should be, I might add, in my opinion. My humble opinion. Because I know a lot of people don't think it the same way I do. It's all good.
Yeah, I guess it's can heal so much and good for so much. And I've seen videos of people juicing it and it healing issues. And yeah, do you juice?
Oh, I juice marijuana as often as I can. And let me share some with you. When you separate the fiber in the juice from in the marijuana, the fiber, the THC is in the fiber, so you don't get high, but you do get all the cannabinoids. You get all the medicinal healing stuff in it. And I recommend, if you're going to try juicing the leaves of the marijuana, I had somebody go put a marijuana stalk in it. You can get some juice out of it, but it's a bit rough on the juice. But anyway, obviously you're not drying out your plants or anything like that. You're just throwing them in like you would throw in some kale or some plantain or some broccoli or whatever. And just juice it up. But it's so bitter that I usually put in a whole bunch of like cucumber, because that cuts the bitterness of the darker leafies by 50%. But I'm just warning you, if you're going to try it, it has a bite and it doesn't taste good. But it's some of the healthiest stuff you can put into your body. So
you can improve your health.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess we probably can't even say improve your health, but can you?
Well, let me put it to you this way, guys.
But in 2 states, go ahead.
Okay. In 2 states is legal, but more importantly, it would be illegal for me to tell you that you can be cured from cancer, you can be cured from diabetes, you can be cured from obesity, you can be cured from whatever disease you might have. And I'm not saying it's a cure-all for every disease, but you can be cured from a lot of diseases through food. That would be illegal for me to tell you, so I'm just not going to tell you. Yeah.
And there it is. Let you speak for yourself just by watching you live your fantastic life.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll just did I get a chance to say you came down for a talk and Rob Potluck and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And let me see. I think that might be it.
Okay.
And yeah. All right. All right, everybody, we're going to take you in the kitchen, and Dave's going to show you how to make a smoothie, and we're going to show you a couple other good things.
Yes, man, she made some treats from raw organic
yeah, that too,
treats.
and I'll tell you where to get the recipe.
Right on.
All right, so see you soon. Bye-bye.